What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the first Discord Friday of the new year. I appreciate you guys for being here. If you're not a member of that Discord, click that link in the description below. Subscribe to my channel, guys. It's a great warehouse community over here and up here. If you guys are brand new to selecting, this is the right place to be at. Donations are much appreciated. This is my eBay store. Guys, I did put out 2 previous videos this year already on Tuesday and Thursday. Please go watch those videos. Every Friday, I go over on Discord. I look at your pictures. I break things down. And I hope to, from one Friday to the next, I hope to pick out some new stuff that we can go over and help you build a better pallet and grow faster to make those incentives. And in my opinion, get out and get going. All right, the first picture I want to look at is this one right here. Beautiful pallet, very nicely done. We were very fortunate to have a lot of the same cases so we could keep nice and level. There is definitely something I would not do in this picture. Remember, guys, I have been in the warehouse for 25 and a half years and probably 20 to 30 times throughout. And it's not a lot, but it happens. These Del Monte cups that are up on their ends, I would definitely keep them upright. There's a plastic film on top of them. And believe it or not, guys, they do not always seal during the factory, manufacturing part of it. So if a cup is open or not sealed all the way, it's going to leak and ruin this case and possibly leak on the case below it. My recommendation is to keep all liquids upright, especially these Del Monte cups. All right, guys, this next picture right here, I love this. I love this. What did I say on the previous video this week? I said that with the Tidy Cats, we got 3 Tidy Cats. We put 2 together, leave a gap for that Arm & Hammer, and then we put another Tidy Cat. Guys, it's the same example here. We got these Ragus. We're going to leave the lower case here, and we're going to put this here so we have that slight rock in. I love this. Keeping the corners nice and level. I don't know why this one's up here. Maybe it came later, or maybe it was a scratch and we went back and got it. We saw it popped in. I don't know why, but I still love it because look what we did. We kept it on the corner because it's higher than this. I promise you guys, if you focus on your high corners, low inside, you're going to build a lot better pallet. We did it up here as well. Applesauce, and we got this Prega or Ragu on the inside. We tied it in with a slight lean coming in. You always want your slight leans coming towards the middle of this pallet. You never want them going towards the corner. So it's so important to focus on those high corners. We got a Del Monte upside down. I just said this on the previous picture. You got to keep these Del Montes upright. They like to leak. If this leaks, not only is it going to ruin this case, it's going to ruin this case. You can't sell a Del Monte cup if it has sticky residue all over it. So even if the one that is busted out leaks all over the other ones, we're going to have to damage those out as well. Right here, Del Monte upside down. Keep them upright, guys. I promise you, it is, like I said, I've only seen it about 20, 30 times. Me personally, I've only seen it 20, 30 times. So how many times has it happened without me actually noticing it? So please keep these Del Montes upright. All right, I love when you guys throw some different pallets up. We got produce. Now, there's a couple things on here I like, and there's a couple things I don't like. We're up to the top with the asparagus. It's popped open, whatever. To the top is great, guys, asparagus, but if it's down lower, do not stack these on their sides. Keep them upright because they will break. But now here, I'm going to sort of like contradict myself. I love the salaries on their sides. I've been stacking these salaries a 6 block ever since I started working at my work. I have never stacked these upright. I was trained to stack them on their sides, and I kept them on their sides. When they are upright, they tend to crush a little bit more. I actually like them like this. And you got to, believe it or not, guys, you're pretty square on top of the cases, so you're not going to break these celery sticks. I've always said for 25 and a half years, if I'm throwing celery sticks on their sides and I've never got a complaint about it, they're arriving at the store perfectly fine. But I would rather have them down as a 6 block than an 8 block that they come in. But I love it, guys. Great job all the way up this pallet. Asparagus here, remember, guys, just if it's down lower, don't do it. But this is a great looking produce pallet. All right, guys, this one here, I like it. And so I always tell you guys, when you focus on staying square, your pallet is going to be better. So even though we got a little bit of a weak inside on the side of this pallet and sort of in here, we got some, not horribly, but when you stay nice and square and you don't have stuff sticking out, your pallets tend to be a lot better. Right here, I mean, we got a slight lean in, but we got a nice solid corner. I don't like the glass right here, being tied in from a high to a low. I definitely would not have done that. It's pretty much all I got to say about this one. It's actually not a bad looking pallet. It really isn't. I just want to do this with this glass right here. I would definitely try to keep it level. And it would probably be on a corner like you have the other one. I probably would have stuck this one on this corner facing in. Guys, remember, even if I have a couple cases thrown here and this pickles or whatever these are would sit better on top of this flat cheese box right here, then maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe I want to put it here, you know, so remove a couple cases. Don't be afraid to move a couple cases to make your palette more sturdy. But other than that, it's not a bad looking palette. Thank you for posting your work. All right, this one I had to blow up. It was a small picture. It's a little, I think this might have been a video. I'm not sure. It's a little blurry, but this is, I always tell you guys to have a weak inside with strong corners. This is too much of a weak inside, especially the front of this palette right here. There's way too many holes in here. This is definitely a weak palette all the way around. It looks like we have writing going this way. So it looks like we put something on its side. God, this is on its side too. Guys, keep cases upright, especially liquid. If this is liquid and this is liquid, it has absolutely zero business being on its side. Now, you guys could call me out for certain things, but when it comes to liquid, they should be upright. They should definitely be upright. So I 1000% disagree with that, and 1000% disagree with this. Keep watching my videos. I didn't even realize this is the same freaking picture. This is the same one. I just noticed your glass right here, so I'm actually kind of glad we're getting to look at this. When I did this, I did not know it was the same palette, but it is, and I'm glad you posted this view as well. Please, we got to do better. We got to do better here, and we got to do better with this. This result is being level at all costs. I promise you, keep those cases upright. I'd rather have and keep your high corners and low inside, and you won't have to worry about being level. You'll still build a good palette with those cases upright. All right, this one here I like as well. We got a nice solid front palette. Base is really nice. I love how we bridged from one to here. We didn't try forcing anything where it doesn't fit. You know, if it don't fit, don't force it, guys. We got a slip sheet in here. Yeah, I could see it because we got a back corner with these bottles here, so we want to be a little bit more level. So it was actually a good placement of the slip sheet. All of our water's up front. Now your back palette, I don't like this case back here. Everything is good back here. So I always say we got this case hanging off way too much. Remember, guys, I say a finger's width. If you put your finger down and the case is hanging more than a finger's width, which that one definitely is. This is probably like three fingers right there. It's off the palette way too far. So you either need to push it in or you need to just move it to another area. This one here is off way too much. So if this is a result of you driving your jack whenever we just had the first layer and the cases are shaking, I don't care. If I have to fix them 100 times, I'll fix them 100 times. I am kicking these in before I put my next layer on. I am not going to let these cases just rattle off. And if it even gets to the point where after like 2-3 times it keeps shaking, I'm actually going to separate my pallets and I'm going to lightly wrap the bottom of this pallet to make sure that these cases don't rattle off and walk off my pallet. And the reason why I say lightly is because you don't want to squeeze when you say we have the juicy juices, and let's say we got this row of canned pop right here, and they're shaking off as I'm driving. I'm going to get off. I'm going to lightly wrap those 2 layers because I don't want to tightly wrap them because they're going to squeeze everything in and I may lose cube. I don't want to lose cube. I want to keep that nice straight line. So just keep that in mind, guys. If these are shaking off, just throw some wrap on it and you won't have to worry about them anymore. Other than that, we got a really nice base here. Got a little slip sheet in here. Believe it or not, guys, even though we got light boxes up here, that Roman noodle in the gap like that is enough to knock a couple cases off. And it's enough to slow you down. So if you knock the cases off, and let's say you don't even notice, and you're halfway down the aisle, and the selector or high lift operator behind you starts screaming, hey, you dropped some cases. Now you have to back all the way down the aisle, or they're going to bring your cases down. It's wasting time. So when you put a case like this into the thing, even though it may seem harmless, you dropping a few cases off your pallet is going to cost you time. So my recommendation is these you can put them upright, just stick one in the gap. Don't shove one in like a slant like that where it possibly could push 3-4 cases off your pallet. All right, this one right here, Jeremy posted, so it's no one on Discord. You know, every now and then I do like to put these on because it is a learning experience. And, you know, the questions were going on Discord, should this person be terminated for doing this? And actually, this is what I was talking about when I said I seen an egg on its side. First of all, I'm a firm believer that eggs should not be on top of anything, because if this egg breaks open and leaks on this case, guess what? We got to damage out this case too. Well, this has wrap on it, so it's possible that we might be able to get away with it. But let's say it was this. Like here, this case is leaning over this open box of produce, it looks like. So let's say this breaks open, leaks into here. Well, we got to damage out that product, because you're not going to buy this produce with egg yolk on it. Not to mention cross-contamination, and you shouldn't be doing that. Eggs should always be on the bottom. They shouldn't be on top of anything. If you're putting them on top of something, and you have to because that's the way the warehouse has it, get a slip sheet, preferably one of the black slip sheets if you have them, in the plastic black slip sheets if you have them. If not, double up a couple slip sheets so if it does break open, no yolk is going on the product below it. This high to a low is just ridiculous. We're just... There's no need for it either. And we got the slip sheet. So this is one of the reasons why I hate slip sheets, is because we have a slip sheet going from here to here, which has no business doing that. And then we put this heavy case in thinking that this slip sheet is just going to hold all this weight, but it didn't, and it collapsed in. And we just get too much false hopes with slip sheets. Now, should this person be terminated? Let's get back to that. If this is a repetitive thing and supervision keeps correcting them, see, goes back to my video that I was saying on, I believe, Tuesday, that supervision doesn't care. So if this person keeps kicking out this work like this and supervision doesn't discipline this person, then why should they correct themselves? See, that's what I'm talking about. These selectors are not going to correct themselves if they're not disciplined, because they feel like the company's happy with what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing it this way. And that's how people think. When supervisors are not disciplining the selectors, when they do something like this, when they build a pallet like this, they're just going to keep doing this. It's all comes from the top down, guys. When management stops managing, we stop caring on the floor, and that's what this is. All right, guys, this one right here, I actually like this and I dislike it. I like the base. What a nice, solid, beautiful base. Right here, these waters I would have turned in. At least turned one of them facing in, and then you could have fit one of these down here. This is that whole I want to be level at all costs type of thing. I get the whole levelness thing. Like, you feel like if you're going to be level, I could just put a slip sheet down and just remain being level. But for me, I don't care about being level. I want my pallet to be nice, compacted together, and very well built. Although this is, but we just got this little goof up right here, in my opinion, that could cause some problems, but probably not. But it's still a good pallet. But I feel, guys, remember, I always say the more cases you have facing towards the middle of the pallet, the more room you're going to have and the sturdier your pallet's going to be. I don't think this is going anywhere, but I just wanted to point out this right here. All what this is a result of is turning this case facing in and putting one of these down here, and then you could have dropped more cases down into here, and your two Gatorades probably wouldn't even have to be up that high. All right, guys, few pictures left. This one right here, I like showing the simplicity of some of the orders. This is so simple. These cases are all identical, but still, I get pictures like this, and I get people that build outside the pallet. I get people that turn cases upright, turn cases on their, well, these cases, I don't know if they're on their side or not. I don't know what the product is, but this is an order that you're going to make times on. All right, this is an order that you're going to, maybe I didn't do so good on my previous order, and I get an order like this, and this is knowing your warehouse. This person, whoever selected this, okay, I know that this is the easy part of the warehouse. I got all these cases. They're all going to line up. I'm gone. All right. And this is also, I don't know. I've talked about this in the past where we have Vocalex system where it tells me how many cases at how many pick locations. Now, I've had people tell me they have the Vocalex system and it doesn't tell them that. And that really sucks, because this right here, let's say this is all the same product with this middle section right here. And we got all these peanuts. Maybe they're all the same product. If I get an order that tells me I'm just going to guesstimate, guys, let's just say 60 cases at 11 pick locations. Well, I know I'm getting quantities. This is an order I'm going to bust out. And that's why it's so important to listen to all that information in the beginning of your order, and then your Vocalect is rattling off everything for the order. If it tells me I have 60 items at 11 pick locations, I'm gone. All right. It's probably giving me 15 minutes to do this. I'm going to finish this in like 8 minutes, because a lot of this is in one location. All right, this one right here, I believe that we've talked about this person's pallets before. They build really good, and I'm gonna hit it up again. All what I'm gonna say is watch your lines. This case right here has no business being out here, because we got the gap to push it back, and if it don't fit, don't force it. I would have just pushed this case back so we kept our line, because we're not keeping our line. I would have pushed this case back, and then this case or even this case would have been out of there, so I could have pushed the whole corner back. Remember, guys, I'm more worried about my corners than my inside, and I'm very, when I build, I am very worried about my lines. I want my imaginary lines because I don't want guys, this is the part where I talk, when I was talking about Jeremy's pallet the other day about having pride in your work. If I'm building a pallet this nice, I don't want it to get crushed on the truck. That's the last thing I want, is me putting my time into building this pallet this nice and it gets crushed in the truck because I'm not keeping my line. So I think this, because you did it on your bags up front too. I don't know if I have that picture, but I just really truly believe that you need to focus on keeping your line, so we're not crushing it, damaging any product. Because even if the white bags get clipped on the back or whatever, because if sometimes we turn pallets on sideways to get them on the truck, and if they turn this on sideways and put one next to it and they clip both these bags and break them open, well, they're not sellable. It's all about taking pride in your work, keeping your lines. So I promise you, that imaginary line, you did a really good job on the back of your pallet. Imaginary lines are so important to keep. And this broken wood, I would have never used this. Now, if I have, once again, this is knowing your warehouse. So this is our 48 out. If I had a 48 out and I had this, I'm not using it. I'll throw it to the side, grab another pallet. Let's say there's nothing but broken wood. Well, if I'm going to the light part of the warehouse, I'm not concerned so much. But when I'm putting weight on this, and this has no middle like this, I mean, we lucked out because our weight stops about right here, and then this isn't as bad. So this pallet may be okay, but imagine a full pallet of dog food on top of this broken pallet. This is gonna bow in like crazy. All right, guys, this is the last picture I want to look at, and the only reason why I posted this is I want to point out one case and one case only. You did a great job of building this. See what I mean? See? No, I think it's just the way the picture looks, but we got a relatively straight line here. We might hang off a little with our huggies. Remember, guys, if it don't fit, don't force it. So turn it or put it somewhere else and put another case there. We're actually hanging off right here, which is, see, this is what I don't like. Our first layer, we're hanging off, and there's no need to because we got a gap right here. It's not like you're forcing cases on, so we have room to move this in. It is so important to stay within the confines of that pallet. But the one case I want to point out is this right here. It says Kool-Aid Jammers. They have the twist top. You're crushing them. If those twist tops break off, guess what? They're not selling. We're not selling them. They're going back. This whole entire case is going to be reported as damage. And we are crushing this box. Now, these boxes crush real easy, and the containers crush real easy. Those little plastic containers in there. I told you guys in previous videos, front corner, I don't care if I get this low. Okay, so let's say I selected this pallet here and I start selecting my second pallet. This case is either going on my jack or it's going up here until I feel it's necessary to throw it up. I'm not going to put it down here when I know I have all this weight coming. And that is part of knowing your warehouse. So this case here, I select this pallet first and I'm starting to select this pallet. This case is going on top of here. If you're too short to put it there, put it on your jack, on the battery, or wherever you can put it. Or if you have to, toss it up a couple of times. I'm not putting it that low on the pallet when I have that much weight coming. All right, guys, so that's the third video this week already for the new year. Guys, anytime I get topics coming out, I put those videos out, and then Discord Friday is always going to be Discord Friday. It's going to be your photos I'm going over. So I appreciate you guys. Subscribe, do all this stuff over here if you have not done so yet. I'll see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.